Game 1 of the current series. If you're just starting out, you're in the right place. Winter Assembly once again. Now it's the round of 4. This time it'll be TSL.Polt versus FXO.Lucky. Lucky is playing on another account though. This game will be calling him Taki. Now in this game, Polt will be our red Terran down in the southern position on Daybreak, whereas Lucky is the blue Zerg up in the northern position.
Getting to see the full range of Polt's play at Assembly so far. Versus Terran against Tasia in the round of 16, versus Protoss against Hero in the round of 8.
But now facing a Zerg in the round of 4. And all of his opponents are, fairly good Korean players. Obviously we're talking about how obviously Taja's been in kind of between Code A and Code S. Same, more or less, could be said for Hero, since he just recently got into Code S. After these games had been played, after Assembly. And then Lucky also had a brief stint into Code S before being knocked down right in the first round.
Yeah.
Polt, once again, building a wall, as is customary for him, and customary for any turn facing a Zerg.
Yep, getting his gas much earlier than he has been, though.
Now Lucky's moving a drone out. Looks like he's going for the 14 hatch.
Yeah, there's a scout drone that was sent out very early. It's going to be getting in here before the wall off's done.
Yep, that drone will be able to see everything. And meanwhile, he did go for the 14 hatch behind this. Now also getting some gas.
And looks like the scout drone is just going to head home now, knowing that the first Marine is on his way. Wall off gets finished out by another supply depot.
Yep, the scout SCV is right behind it.
Lucky dropping his spawning pool.
Now Polt's SCV coming up. He sees the hatchery, which of course he would have expected.
Yep,
and
dropping a factory home.
And the SCV comes out by the natural again. He's building a bunker now right next to one of the geysers.
Barracks is building a reactor. It'll probably get swapped onto the factory.
A couple more drones get pulled from the main to help try and kill this SCV and stop the bunker. Two Marines now about to arrive, but the SCV is about to die. The SCV does die. Two Marines back out and the bunker's cancelled.
Yeah. There's just no way to make that work at that point. First 4 Zerglings are on their way out. Otherwise, still just droning. Speed's getting started.
Yeah, did get the extra egg worth of Zerglings out. Otherwise, did not do a whole lot with that attempt at a bunker. Oh, Marines catch an Overlord out in the middle of the map here, thanks to a barracks scout, providing the high ground site. And also, Lucky appears not to have seen the Hellions, although you might well expect them. They're fairly common in this matchup.
Yep. The expand command center is about 2/3 of the way down for Polt.
He now sees the Hellions as they come out onto the edge of his base. They're on the creep now. The Spinecrawler finished just in time, but now it uprooted to move up forward. The Hellions see it and they move fast. Try to go for a run by in the middle. Try to go for a run by for a moment there, but the Zerglings are in the way. And they simply went outside the edge of the creep again. The Spinecrawler has been reestablished. 2 more Hellions arriving now. They're also catching a creep tumor while it's in the middle of morphing. So the active creep tumor has been killed. Hellions just hanging out at the edge of the creep now.
Stim getting started. Their attack's about 1/3 of the way done.
Hellions 5 and 6 are on their way across the map. No more
Polt flying
beefers,
his command center out to his natural, adding a starport and 2 barracks at home.
Now Lucky's getting a second spine crawler right next to his natural hatchery, and also getting an evolution chamber next to the bottom of his ramp. Also getting both of the gases at his expansion. Polt's second gas just now finishing. Also, his starport's just going to finish, as is the reactor on his factory.
Yeah, there has finished Spire going down now, as well as a Baneling nest.
Starport switches over to that reactor, starts double pumping medevacs right away. One of his barracks is building another reactor, so we'll have 2 barracks with reactors and 1 with tech lab.
Nope. Zerglings run out. Get 1 free Hellion, who's patrolling away from the rest.
Now STEM is about 80% of the way done. First couple medevacs come out, and the Marines are being built 5 at a time. Polt securing a supply depot wall outside of his natural. It'll be closed off with 1 more depot. And he is moving out now with Marines.
Yep.
And the 2 medevacs.
Stim just finished. Combat shields get started right away. And Spire is about to finish. 6 meters in production.
Medevacs and Marines now reinforcing the Hellions right at the edge of the creep now. Marines stim up, try to catch this Overlord. They do catch the Overlord. Now they're moving in towards the Spine Crawler. Gonna take out the Spine Crawler, it looks like. Here comes the Zerglings. Oh, infusion, or transfusion on the Spine Crawler.
Force him back away. Killing that Overlord does supply block Lucky.
Yep. Mutalisks coming out now. Also Banelings. Banelings getting caught a little bit. Not able to do any damage, really. There are still a couple Hellions alive and a bunch of Marines. Bit of an ugly counter push by Lucky there to try and get rid of that. Although he does survive for now.
Polt starting a 3rd command center and siege tag.
Transfusing a couple of the highly damaged Muta. Now the Muta are moving out. Now, one thing that Lucky has set up well here is he has Overlords all over the edge of the map, ready to see those normal drop paths.
Yep. Flock of mutas moving out. 9 mutas around the south side of the map.
Yep, coming in towards Polt's main. There's a missile turret in construction. It will be finished in time, it looks like, unless they get in there quick. Oh, another STV comes and finishes it. And they leave. These Zerglings moving in here to Polt's forces that are camping on top of what will be Lucky's 3rd. Lucky did have a hatchery queued up to be built there, but that is stopped for now, as long as Polt has these units in the way. Another group of Marines and a couple medevacs joining. And his forces moving towards the center, narrowly missing the Mutalisk pack that flew by.
Lucky's macro hatch in the main is finishing.
Lucky now moving down to take that hatchery again. There's a Hellion in the way, though. Hellion gets killed quickly and the hatchery starts. Now Lucky is just about to get the Baneling speed. Also, flyer attacks level 1 are well on the way. More Mutalisks continue to be built. Also getting a 2nd evolution chamber.
5 reactor barracks, 1 tech lab barracks. In the main, with 1 starport with reactor and 1 tank with tech, or 1 factory with tech lab.
Yeah, precinct tanks. Siege
2nd
factory.
factory. Yeah, 2nd factory with tech lab down at the natural. So fairly solid production for Polt.
Here comes the mutas right outside the natural. poking in at the tech lab on one of the factories. Also shooting at the Spidey Hole wall a little bit, but the Marines scare that away. A couple of banelings getting planted, ready to be landmines at the bottom of this ramp that leads to what would be Polt's third.
Meanwhile, Marines pushing into Lucky's third. Looks like, oh, they kill the hatch. No cancel on that.
And also killing the gases. Lucky has Zerglings coming in. No, they don't go for the engage. Marines also going to catch a couple drones that were queued up to mine here. And here comes the Zergling Muta. Trying to clean up these Marines. There's a couple tanks behind it ready to siege up.
Doing a lot of damage.
Yep.
They're
Now
just decimating the Zerglings.
It forces cancel on the hatch once again.
Yep. Dropping at what would probably normally be his fourth location now. Might be really wanting to get another expansion out.
Now Polt is lifting his extra command center over to his third location. A bunch of Marines right by that Baneling landmine, and Lucky's not paying attention.
Yep,
that could have been bad
instead.
for Polt.
Well, it's a good thing he did, though, because Lucky got the cancel off on his third expansion that was at his fourth. Decent Baneling connects, wipe out most of the Marines here in the middle of the map. Lucky again dropping his third.
I'm not sure about that trade. Canceling versus simply losing the building under construction. 225 minerals. Versus catching what could have been easily a dozen Marines. Oh, we had another opportunity for it. They don't quite go perfectly over it and he doesn't take it. Or maybe he wasn't paying attention again.
Polt massing up his army by the East Selnaga Tower, or West Selnaga Tower. Both armies unwittingly playing Ring Around the Rosie around the middle of the map. Scanning, clearing out a couple of the creep tumors in the middle. Meanwhile, huge Ling Bling Muta force pushing it.
Yep, clearing out the few units that Polt has back here. Now Polt does have a large group of Marines coming in. They double stem to get here more quickly. Muta's went straight to the main.
Yeah, they followed the medevac in.
Catch a medevac before leaving.
Don't take out any of the add-ons or anything.
Tanks are a little exposed here, but a few Marines stem up to cover them. Mutas don't do any damage.
Yep, Thor's in production. Our second Thor is on his way. First Thor is moving out now onto the map.
The Mutapack is getting intimidating. It's now at 20. But overall supply, Polt is up at 176 to Lucky's 144. Polt pushing once again towards Lucky's third. The siege tanks kind of leapfrogging the siege mode. Lucky coming in here with Ling Bling Muta. Takes a few shots to get rid of the first tank. Loses a bunch of lings for it. Falls back to his third. First Thor now arrives. Gets a huge hit off on the meter pack. That must have hit about 10 meters. All now in the orange. A couple very low red.
Yeah, meanwhile he's taking the time to spread out all of his Marines, so none of them are going to get hit by Banelings in a big group.
Yep, a few Marines coming forward, working on taking down the hatch with the lings and blings are in here, chasing them away. Now the Mutas and Ling Blings charge in. Gets to the first tank quickly. Marines are very nicely spread though.
So gets a
Lucky
couple
is
good
not
shots
able
on
to clean
the
through
Mutas.
it, and he has to GG. Yeah, he was not able to do nearly enough damage there. Polt had a bigger army, and he was very well deployed. Great Marine splits.
Using the little stim push into the third to sort of bait the army out, and he got exactly what he was looking for in that encounter.
Yeah, Lucky was only able to chew through about half the Terran army there. Well, onward to game 2. Polt taking the quick 1-0.